Okay, now we're going to look at multiplying and dividing positive and negative numbers. So these are all classified under integers. We're also going to expand this to decimals as well. So all rational numbers. Okay, so when you are multiplying positive and negative numbers, if the amount of negatives you have is an odd number, your answer is going to be negative. If it's positive, your outcome is going to be positive. Sorry, if it's an even number, it'll be positive. So what that means is, so here, if you're doing a positive number times a negative number, your outcome is negative. Same thing here, there's only one, which is an odd number, one negative, so your outcome is negative. Here there's three altogether, but only one that is negative, so your outcome is, once again, negative. In this last one, you have 1, 2, 3 negative numbers. 3 is an odd number, therefore your outcome should be negative. So how this works, so we've got 5 times a negative 2. So you're going to treat it just like a normal multiplication problem. So 5 times 2 is 10. Now there's one negative, so we're just going to put our negative in front. That's going to make your answer negative. So same thing here, negative 7 times 12. 7 times 12 is 84. And there's one negative, so it becomes a negative 84. Okay, likewise, next one, negative 8 times a negative 3. 8 times 3 is 24. There's two negatives, therefore down here our outcome is positive, so this we just leave as 24. Okay, next one, a negative 2 times a 5 times negative 4. So now I have three terms altogether, but we still have two negatives, which is an even number. So that's going to tell us that our outcome should be positive. So 2 times 5 is 10. 10 times 4 is 40. And so our outcome is a positive 40. So that's just to note, if there's an odd number of negatives that you're finding the product of or the quotient of, your outcome is going to be negative. If it's an even number, it's going to be positive. Okay, so this continues with decimals. And now most of you will probably use just your calculator to put this in, but just quick note, when you're multiplying decimals, your outcome is going to have the sum of, or it's going to have numbers after the decimal, which is the sum of the total after the decimal with your two numbers. So right here we have 1 and 2. So then our outcome, or our product of 5.2 times 3.1 is going to have two numbers after the decimal. Okay, and then what we can do when multiplying, you can just take get rid of your decimal. Okay, and we note that this is a negative 31 that we're multiplying by. And then you treat it the same way. So you multiply both numbers by each place value. So 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 5 is 5. Okay, bring our 0 down because now we're in the tens place. 3 times 2 is 6. And then 3 times 5 is 15. So when we add these all up, you get 2, 11, 16, and then 1. And this 2 right here, so the total number that we have, is going to tell us we're going to bring our decimal in 2 spots. So the answer is 16.12. And the other thing to note is there's only one negative, so our outcome is going to be a negative number. So there we've multiplied these two decimals, and we've followed the same rules as if they're integers with the positives and negatives. And then this is just, if you're multiplying by hand, a quick way to figure out, okay, what is your final answer? So you get rid of the decimal, multiply them together, and then the sum from right here is going to be how many you bring the decimal in. Okay, so next problem, negative 4.23 times negative 4.1. So right here we have 2 and we have 1, so our answer is going to have 3 numbers after the decimal, or we're going to bring the decimal in 3 places. Okay, so now we also have two negatives, so an even number of negatives, so our outcome is going to be positive. So I'm going to rewrite these without the decimal, and then go through the multiplication again. So we've got 3, 2, 4, and then I'll bring our 0 because now we're multiplying in the tens place, so that'd be 4 times 3 is 12, carry the 1, 4 times 2 is 8, plus the 1 is 9, 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, once again we add up all the same columns, so 3 plus 0 is 3, 2 plus 2 is 4, 4 plus 9 is 13, carry the 1, 6 plus 1 is 7, and then 1. Okay, so we have this now. This number right here tells us that we bring our decimal in 3 spots. So 1, 2, 3. Therefore, our answer is 17.343. And that's all there is to multiplying decimals as well as multiplying integers when you start involving negative numbers.